welcome to the Next in Line podcast, where we are helping to prepare you for whatever is next in line. As always, I'm your host, Chance Pitts, and I would like to thank you for tuning into this episode. Guys, so a little bit of housekeeping right off the bat. As always, if you receive value from the content that we are putting out, or you think someone else can benefit from the value that we're putting out, whether that's on the podcast here in this episode or any other episode we put out, or even in the daily content that we try to put out on Facebook and Instagram, and you can find us there at Next in Line Development, please make sure you are sharing this content with people who could receive that benefit. Make sure you're sharing it with like-minded individuals. Help us grow this movement. Along with that, make sure you're subscribing to us on whatever platform you're listening to. Leave us a rating if that's an option. Leave us a like, some comments, whatever you think. Let us know how we're doing, guys. Just wanted to touch base on that and get the ball rolling. So guys, we're back here with another thoughtful Thursday as we get ready to move towards the end of this week and into the weekend. I just wanted to leave something with y'all and give y'all a little bit more explanation into the Next in Line movement and what it means to me. So guys, what made me want to start this personal and professional development brand? For anyone that doesn't know, I have dealt with a variety of problems and a variety of circumstances that left me lacking in a lot of ways. It left me feeling subpar in a lot of ways. I used to be about 50 pounds overweight. I used to be very weak-minded. I used to drink to deal with my problems on a regular basis. I had trauma in my past that was kind of unrealized and undealt with in a lot of ways. I had just a terrible outlook on the world and what I felt like it owed me as a whole. And as I look back at that person that I was a couple years ago or a year ago or even about 10 months ago when I truly started developing myself, I can't really fathom how I kept that mindset and how I sold myself short on a daily basis just with every aspect of my life. And guys, I still know that in a lot of ways, I'm not where I need to be. And I'm definitely not where I want to be. And that's in regards to my spouse, being a friend, being a brother, in my physical health, and my financial health, and especially in my spiritual health as well. I still make a ton of mistakes as a person, and I do things that I am definitely not proud of, and I will look back on a lot of the decisions that I'm making now as I'm developing, as I'm thinking I'm making a lot of progress, and I'll probably wonder what the heck I was doing, just like everybody will, and just like you look back on what you've done in the past and what you've made decision-wise and why you've done those things. Everybody has that late night thought whenever you're laying in bed, just like, wow, I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that way? Or why did I say that thing? And it just kind of sticks with you. I'm going to have those moments between now and the time that I get to where I'm going. I know that I'm still continuing to grow, and that's just part of the process. But I am here trying to get better on a daily basis. And my goal with this whole movement is to share my development journey with people like you who are listening to this podcast and who want to get better and who can benefit from the stories of my failures and my successes. And potentially whenever I bring guests on, they can also benefit from the stories of their failures and their successes. And maybe we can help accelerate your learning process and your development process in some way. Because, guys, I dabble in a little bit of everything. For those of y'all that know me personally, I'm into music, I'm into running, obviously fitness and that style of things, entrepreneurship and leadership, starting to work into a little bit of entrepreneurship as well. There is very little that I haven't at least worked with in some way. And if you want to know more about my resume and those things, I encourage you to check out the first podcast introduction. It gives a very good overview into me as a person and what I've done up until this point. And guys, one thing I've done in every aspect of life and everywhere I've been, every situation, is I've tried to soak up as much knowledge and wisdom as I can from the people that have been there and done that before with whatever I'm doing. And as I do those things, I filter down information. I take away what's valuable. I take away what matters and what can be helpful to myself and others. And I would like to be able to, like I said, filter that down and be an avenue or a hub for the information and the different strategies that y'all can use to develop yourselves and move forward in a positive direction. Now, I am not a trained professional yet. Now, and that key word on that is yet. I would like to get certifications, and I plan to get certifications within the next couple of years on things like personal training, nutrition coaching, and possibly even some life coaching things as well. I have goals of opening up a gym and a development center to help people progress along their journey. I would love to have an annual grant for hardworking young individuals who are looking to step into their next phase of life with a 4-year degree, or trying to start a business, or if they're going to trade school, or even people who are just trying to be maybe a higher level athlete and they're looking for some financial support or sponsorship headed in that direction. That's my goal for some of the things that I want to accomplish with this movement and this podcast. Guys, I want to help people get to where they are trying to go in life. I want to help them realize that they don't have to spend their entire life hating themselves or hating their job or their family or their current environment or whatever circumstance they find themselves in. I want them to be able to change their mindset and change their attitude and just adapt and adopt a positive outlook on their situation. And while I know that I don't know everything, I don't have the answers for everything, I have a powerful network of people that I have worked with in a lot of different aspects. I know a lot of people with a ton of experience that I hope to be able to bring in to contribute to your development and to help with my development, answer some of the questions I have, and to be able to pass that information on to you. And guys, as I'm working along this journey, I know, like I said, I don't have all the answers, and I'm looking to find the answers. And I'm hoping that somewhere amongst those answers, I can also find myself as well. I'm learning a lot of different things at this stage in my life. I'm learning how to invest and become stronger financially. I'm learning how to lead more effectively in my personal and professional life. I'm learning the importance of patience and organization in every single aspect of life. I'm learning how my body reacts to fitness and specifically my diet as well. This is a little sidebar, and it's kind of nuts to me because everybody that knows me and anybody that's listened to that episode, like I said, knows that I'm a huge advocate for agriculture. I certified to be an ag teacher. I've managed a ranch. We've grown cattle and crops out there. I'm a huge supporter of farmers and ranchers who are doing things the right way. And I've always kind of laughed at these different diets and these different ways of eating where you cut out different aspects, and I've always kind of had a negative connotation around them. But as I learn more about my body and I listen to it, it's telling me certain things like it doesn't like the way gluten reacts within my system. It doesn't like the way lactose reacts within my system. These things have actually hurt me for a long time, and they stopped and held back my physical development in a lot of ways. I have cut some of that stuff out of my diet, and I've removed a lot of trash from my system. I've removed a lot of inflammation and just stored fat around my midsection, some of those different things. It's helped develop me in a lot of ways. And that's something I would have never learned if I wouldn't have started this process. Those are little tips and tricks and things and knowledge that I would love to help you unlock within different aspects of your life. And guys, lastly, on the things that I'm working on in my life here, I am most importantly working on understanding my relationship with God, nature, the world, and everyone else that is part of this great thing that we call life. And I'm also trying to understand where I fit in and where I don't fit in to society and the government systems and the systems as a whole that we have in place today. Guys, for a very long time, I found myself not truly fitting into any groups or social structures 100%. I was friends with a lot of people and I was a part of a lot of different organizations, but I never fully 100% fit into those organizations. And I learned that that's okay. Sometimes you have to create your own place and you've got to grow within that place. And a lot of times, those places you find yourselves in can teach you more than any of the groups or organizations or whatever you would have found yourself in previously could have as well. And I learned that developing myself and blazing my own path and working with my hands on a daily basis will teach me more than any college class or any professional training that I've ever received could ever do. And I encourage all of you to find some of these different opportunities to get out and develop yourself and think outside the box and try new things for your development. I also encourage you guys to reach out to me as somebody in this space. My goal is to help people. My goal is to help people progress their lives in a positive direction, get through hard situations, and understand themselves and what their brain is doing to them whenever they have some of these situations come up and they feel like they cannot go any further or they can't push any harder. Guys, all I'm saying is maybe I can help you. Maybe I can have a guest on the podcast, or I know somebody within my network that can potentially help you. And no matter what you're going through, if you reach out to me, at the very least, I'll be willing to listen and I'll be willing to help however I can. And now I will say this, my advice and my solutions are not for everyone. I'm a very no-nonsense kind of person whenever it comes to giving out advice. But I can always promise you that anything I say will be meant with 100% your best interest in mind. It's not like asking a single friend for relationship advice who's going to want you to end up single, or somebody that's lazy and insecure about your fitness advice and they want you to be held back so that you don't make them look bad. That's not how I operate. That's not where I want to be. I would want the best advice available to me given to me, so I operate in the same way. And to this point, with that said, I've had several people reach out to me. I've been able to help people in all stages of their lives with a variety of things, from helping get a running plan together to pass a physical standards test, to changing their mindset, to job advice as an entrepreneur working in an industry and for a company. But also, guys, I've been able to just give people a better outlook on the positive sense every day in their life for some of these people that have reached out and talked to me and shared some of the different things they've learned just from conversations and listening in on some of the things we've talked about. Guys, most of these people have been older than me. I'm 26 years old. I have a lot of experience with a lot of different things, and I'm not the most experienced person in the world, but like I said, I soak up knowledge and I learn things to the best of my ability so I can, in fact, help people no matter what their situation is requiring. But guys, I want you to know as well, there is absolutely nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing to be ashamed of with asking for help. Don't suffer in silence when you could be getting better every single day. We all need help every now and then, and we all need a little bit of change in perspective from time to time. You just got to be brave enough to take the first step. Guys, thank y'all for tuning into this episode of the Next in Line podcast. As always, make sure you're checking us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Next in Line Development. Leave us a rating on Spotify, share this with like-minded individuals, and always be prepared for whatever is next in line.